What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to the Chel podcast. We took a week off to just prep ourselves for the fantasy draft, and really nothing happened anyways during that time, so we couldn't really discuss much. But the whole gang is back today for episode 12. On today's episode, we're going to be continuing our award predictions, kind of talking about more on the Canuck side, who we think certain Canucks will win what awards type of thing. And we'll also go over some hockey news recap around the league and a little recap as well of our fantasy draft and kind of, the sleeper picks, who has kind of the best overall team, etc. So, Max, I'll let you kick it off.
Perfect. Thank you, Mikey. And welcome back, everyone. So in this last 2 weeks, we've had a few pretty big signings. We're not going to go over everything today just because that is pretty redundant. We don't have much to say on a bunch of them. I will first note that almost all of the PTOs that we talked about last podcast, about all of them got released. So good job for Tannen. You didn't make Edmonton. You're probably done.
None of us are surprised.
And
so close.
None of us are surprised.
Do you think he was close, Kyle?
No, God, no.
Okay, good.
I feel like a lot of people on like Twitter and social media thought he was, because he literally played every single preseason game for them. He got cut very last one after the game.
Didn't he take a bad penalty? Then they only played like 2 minutes in one of the games.
Yeah, he got walked by Brady Keeper on defense and then took a tripping penalty, I think.
And then got left in Abbotsford.
Yeah.
That was the best part. They brought him back to Abbotsford first and then cut him.
Just left him out here. Alrighty, well, we can probably start us off with finally almost the last RFA signing. They are all done now, but the only key one left was Jason Robertson. He signs for 4 years at $7.75 million. Dallas finally signing him right near the end of preseason. Probably wish they could have gotten a longer contract on that, but it's still a pretty good one. And it does.
It's actually the perfect length contract. Yeah, exactly. It expires as RFA, so it's like a perfect length contract where they still have control of the player after the contract's done.
Nice.
Moving on here, we can go into another big signing over in the Long Island. I got Matt Barzel signing for 8 years at $9.15 million. I genuinely forgot it was that much. Holy crap. Moving on here to Calgary, they finally got Uyghur extended as well past next season, so he will be sticking with the team for another 8 years at $6.25 million. It's a pretty big deal for a guy like that, but I mean, they kind of needed to do it, or else they would have almost been labeled as the loser of that trade. And lastly, even earlier today, it was a signing. It was Travis Sanheim for 8 years at $6.25 again. Pretty crazy, but that's the defensive market right there. It's either that or $9 million. Thanks to Seth Jones.
Kind of glad he didn't come to the Canucks.
Yeah, there was initial rumblings. That would have been nice, actually.
I mean, he would have fit in well with Hughes, but that contract is mad.
Yeah.
That's Myers-esque.
Really?
Yeah, well, I mean, that just about does it with all the signings.
I think you missed one, Max. Just today, there was a 1-day signing of BXO with the Canucks.
Not official yet, but
oh, okay. Rumored, I guess. Sorry. Yeah, it's not official. Rumored.
Not official. I mean, it is technically though. On I believe it's
November 3rd.
November 3rd, yeah. Kevin Bieksa is going to be signing a 1-day deal to retire as a Canuck as they face the Ducks. Pretty
yeah,
cool.
It's nice that they planned that for it to be against Anaheim, too.
Didn't he retire like 2 years ago and get into broadcasting?
I don't know if he ever officially retired, but he's, been a broadcaster for a while now.
Yeah.
Is he even
I guess he never did retire, but
He's good. I like him on the panel.
I haven't seen him
he's
on the
good.
panel.
He's awesome, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He wears cool
It's-
socks too.
Well,
How do you
that's
see
what
his
it's all
socks?
about.
Is he putting his feet up on the desk?
Oh yeah. Have you not seen the socks he wears, Kyle?
I have not.
Oh.
No.
Okay, go
I usually just
I
watch
have-
the Avalanche play, and they don't have Kevin BX on their panel.
Okay. Thank you for that.
Yep.
Okay.
Cool. I guess that'll take us into our new segment that we are gonna dabble with, player trivia. After I gave the squad, after I gave the squad several hints on Chris Pronger last week, and nobody got it. I
got
thought
it.
I'd do that
I got
again,
it.
and yeah, Mikey got it. He did tell us though.
Sure.
He's keeping it secret. So I got two players here, and I'm gonna give some hints as to who it could be, and from that information, I hope you guys can figure it out. First, we'll go with the group player. Let's take it away. So the first hint, this player won the Stanley Cup in 2010 as a member of the Chicago Blackhawks. Second hint, this player also made playoff runs with the San Jose Sharks and the Florida Panthers throughout his career.
Oh shit.
Oh.
Any?
I think. Okay.
Okay. Wait. Don't guess yet, because I have a couple more hints that I worked really hard on, so I really want it. But Corey, you have an idea?
No. Ish. Keep going.
Okay.
Keep going.
Okay. Third hint. This defenseman's highest scoring season came in 2007, 2008. The same season he was traded from the Buffalo Sabres to the San Jose Sharks.
Oh, I got it. 100%.
Okay. And then the last one kind of narrows it down. When he won the
I have
Stanley
a
Cup,
feeling I know who it is too.
when he won the Stanley Cup, he played on Chicago's second defensive pairing with Nick Hjalmarsson and wore jersey number 51.
Oh, I got it. For sure.
Yeah.
Does everyone have it?
I think me and Corey are thinking the same.
I'm blanking.
Okay. Aaron?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Okay.
Initials are BC.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Should I give the answer now or wait till the end?
I give it now. I mean, we.
Okay.
Wait, hold on.
The
let
answer?
Mikey say it.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah, go for it, Mikey.
I feel like.
Yes.
Okay.
Brian Campbell, atta guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The BC gave it away, but yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Max is like, I knew the BC was his confirmation.
Okay. BC was like, okay, well, yeah. Way to go, Mike.
Defend yourself. Okay.
I feel like when you say playoff run with Florida, I feel like
it was like a deep run. See, I was trying to play with the wording a little bit, but like he was in the playoffs with Florida a couple times, but they didn't make any deep runs.
Once you said number 51 too, I'm just like, that's instantly like.
I got it from defenseman, and then when you said Buffalo to San Jose, that's when I got it.
Yeah, you had that fast, Corey.
Yeah.
I did. Thank you.
Did you have an inkling around like the second hint as well with the playoff runs, San Jose and Florida, or was that just badly worded?
No, I was thinking first I thought Sean Thornton because he played for Florida, I think, but I was like, he played for Boston, not Chicago, and then I was thinking like other players, but then when you said defenseman Buffalo, I knew.
Yeah.
I was just Googling as fast as I could. No, just kidding.
Okay. And next we have our Pat question in honor of Max's dad being the hockey guru. So this one's going to be a bit more challenging. It's going to be from a bit earlier on. You guys ready?
Definitely not, but go for it.
Are we testing again? Or is this one for everyone? Sorry, are we guessing?
This is a brand new one.
Okay.
And it's for a player that's a bit older.
Okay.
So again, hints start harder and then they'll get a bit easier as we go. Okay, so this player was tied for second with Nick Lindstrom for most power play points in the 2000s decade.
Okay.
I was tied. Can you say that again? He was tied with Nick Lindstrom for
tied for second with
Okay.
Lindstrom for second in most power play points in the 2000s decade. This defenseman was drafted 14th in the 1992 draft and finished as the highest scorer from his entire draft class.
Okay.
Nothing so far.
No, I was not alive.
Yeah. This player won his only Stanley Cup with the Penguins in 2009.
I think I got it.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay. Hold that. Okay. And the fourth hint, despite winning with the Penguins, this player's best seasons, arguably were with the team that drafted him, the Washington Capitals. He spent 10 seasons with that team.
What?
Uh-oh.
10 seasons?
Oh, why?
Carl Alsner.
No, dude.
Drafted in 1992.
I don't know. I'm just thinking of.
Can we get his position?
Defenseman.
Oh, I think
That was part of the second hint.
I was gonna
This
say,
defenseman was drafted.
I think I got it.
Okay. What's your guess?
Is it Sergei Gonchar?
Damn right it is.
Oh, baby, let's go.
How did you get that?
It's all pretty obvious, Mike.
Yeah. Google wonders, doesn't it?
Come on, don't you watch hockey? I mean,
back in '92.
So that was
when he was drafted.
I'd say that was a bit harder than the first one.
My first thought was Bill Guerin.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
But then when we moved to defensemen, I had to think a little. And when you said Washington, that kind of gave it away too.
Yeah.
I like these. These are
Perfect.
fun.
I'll keep them coming.
Nice.
Awesome. Well, that is the first edition. Hope everyone had some success. More than our team here, but
yeah. So I have 2, right? I have 1, 2 so far.
Do we want to keep stats on that?
Yeah, I do.
Corey definitely does. We'll also make sure next week we update on if Pat was able to get it faster than Corey.
Oh yeah, please do. That's perfect.
Okay. Can we?
Yeah, I don't think I'm ever getting one of those questions. No, I suck.
One time I'm gonna get one of you guys to make it so I can flex on my hockey knowledge. But
for sure.
Okay.
Until then,
It'll be like who won the most face-offs.
Yes.
And I'd probably still get it, even though face-offs are useless.
Who won the most second period face-offs in the neutral zone?
On the right dot.
Yeah, from the right dot. Yeah. Only right-handed players.
While down a goal.
Yeah. Well, down a goal. Yeah. On a weekday game.
Okay.
Oh, at home.
Yeah. Yeah. Only European players.
Oh my god.
I think that's where you'd lose me.
Really? I'm thinking Malkin.
He's a lefty.
Damn. Okay.
Surprised you didn't say Zibanejad.
Yeah.
Anyways, Corey, take away the next topic.
Moving on to some recent news. We're going to talk about the Canucks and their first game, a solid 5-3 loss to Edmonton. Did you watch it? Did you not? They were up 2-0 early. A couple minutes in, goals from Pearson and JT Miller. I think we were all pretty fired up for the upcoming season. Went up 3-0, and then just little by little, Edmonton came back and erased that lead, and then took the game at home. And we got to watch McDavid score his 700th and then 701st point.
Yeah.
Once, I was gonna say.
I heard.
And a hat trick at home. So for the Oilers fans, what a great start to the year for them. For Canucks fans, pretty disappointing. Pretty roller coaster. But maybe we can take some highs and lows. Kind of maybe talk about some good things and some bad things. So I think I'll send it off to Mike. You got maybe like a pros and cons for us from what you saw from that first game?
Yeah, I mean, the first 5 minutes were amazing. I was utterly thrilled, and I was so happy to see 2 goals go in within the first 5 minutes, but obviously they crumbled a little bit. Pros, Pearson looks pretty good. I think if he can keep up a scoring pace, the Canucks will have a chance at the playoffs, and Kuzmenko as well. Looks good.
Yeah.
Kuzmenko is one of the biggest questions and factors coming into the season, considering he's brand new from the KHL, and it's actually nice to see him continue what he did in the preseason, which was put up goals. He got his first goal, which is super solid. Cons, I don't know. The defense, obviously, there's a little bit of a struggle still, we all know, and every Canucks fan knows there's a struggle on defense. But I just think the game really shifted when there was a missed call on the high stick behind the net, when Evander Kane high stick Hughes in the face on their power play, and then they ended up scoring from that because Hughes was down. And that kind of shifted momentum, and then Edmonton came back with all guns blazing, and they ended up winning. Kind of my opinion. I know you guys watched the game too, so I'd love to hear yours as well. But I definitely think the game shifted right after that call was missed.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Because I believe that was their first or second goal, if I'm correct. But after that, Hughes had to leave for, I believe, a bit of stitches or just kind of to stop the bleeding for 5-6 minutes. And that was when it kind of slowly, Edmonton just took over. Overall, that game, pros, Mikey pretty much nailed it. I think they started off really well, which any Canuck fan would know they never do. I think last year, the first 20-30 games of the season, they always let the other team score first. I remember there was a stat that they always said. So it's nice to see that. Now we just have to combine it with the second and third period. I also really liked how they actually split up Pearson and Miller. They went with almost like a 3-headed monster of Miller, Pearson, Horvat down the middle, and that was really nice to see. I like that.
I do have one thing on that. I do agree. It's super sick for them to have good depth centers, but Horvat playing third line kind of minutes, he's not really doing much. He should be doing a lot more. And same with you're having Garland and Cole's in on the third line while you have Pearson on the first line as your left wing, which kind of confused me.
I do get that, but at the same time, mainly because of all the power play time, but Horvat did still finish with 21 minutes of ice time. So it was very spread.
Yeah, they did have 9 power plays, so...
Is he in a more defensive role where he's getting a lot of defensive zone starts and not as many,
Oh, yeah.
Not as much offensive opportunity then?
Yeah. That's what he always does.
Fair enough.
I think, too, we can complain about the missed call, but, at the end of the day, they were up 3-0, and sometimes, you get missed calls in the game. If we can also kind of say, McDavid and Draisaitl, that's just kind of what they do, but we're going to be, if we want to win the Pacific, we have to deal with a high powered Edmonton offense. And
I kind of agree with that for sure.
You're up 3-0. That's a must win. If you're a good team, you have to close the deal at 3-0 because sure, 1 goal, 2 goal, it was still 3-3, and Canucks were getting power play time.
Well, and they had 8 or 9 power plays and 1 power play goal. I mean, their power play looked a lot better. They had a lot of shots, but if you're not going to convert any of those, I mean, you can't really complain about one extra power play.
Yeah, exactly. Their special teams was not where it needs to be. You got to get, in a close game like that, you got to get some more pucks in the net. So I think missed opportunity. However, they did look good. They outshot. At some points, they were doubling up Oilers in shots. Like, they outshot them. They looked like they were moving well. I agree. Kuzmenko looked really good. Pearson, I thought, and Miller both played pretty well. So it's not disappointing to lose. Like, they don't have that, you really want to finish that game, but they weren't standing still. So.
No, there were definitely a lot of positives, and I mean, like you said, you could tell they were gelling quite well. Things that didn't work last year seem to be going a little better this year. So I mean, it's only one game. They just gotta play the whole game next time.
Exactly. So, yeah.
Would you say that they contained McDavid for a period, or was it pretty close?
For the first period, yes.
Yeah.
And then, again, with Canucks taking penalties and stuff like that too, obviously the Edmonton offense is going to capitalize. I think it was their second goal where Hyman passed it, one touch passed it to McDavid for a one-timer. That was nasty.
That was a nice goal.
Oh, that was 4 taps. Yeah, what are you talking?
Yeah, it was
nasty.
Just a beautiful setup passing play they obviously work on in practice. If Canucks can get to that level on the power play, be even more of a force.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so looking ahead, next, the schedule coming up, Canucks aren't in action until Saturday against the Flyers. And then we got a Monday, Tuesday back-to-back, Washington and Columbus on their Eastern road trip. And then Thursday against the Wild. So we'll have some more to talk about next week, and hopefully they can rebound from that loss and get a few dubs going on the road.
I do have one question for you guys. Who do you guys think, we mentioned, the players that kind of were highlighted. Who do you guys think had kind of the worst performance of the Canucks in that game? I know Max Vance. Yeah, Max Vance.
I'll go last in here. Oh, do you want me to go? I can go. I got Tanner Pearson as my easily worst Canuck. I barely noticed him out there. He had a lot of offensive plays, but all of his shots didn't seem to be doing anything. Defensively, he was probably part of 2 or 3 of the goals against, as there were bad turnovers that really just spiraled and gave momentum to the Oilers. Everyone else on the Canucks, I didn't see much of other too many bad signs. Defense, I think, was all right. I don't think many of the goals against were their faults.
Yeah. I thought Besser could have had a better game, just because he's expected to have a bit more of a offensive role on the team. And he took that late penalty, which took us off we would have had a 6-on-4, I think, at the end of the game there. Could have tied it, and he kind of took us off. However, he did miss preseason, so it'll probably take a few games for him to kind of get into the swing of things. So maybe that's expected.
Yep, agreed. Aaron?
To be honest, there was nobody really that I noticed being that poor, but I also didn't see the first period, and I was doing homework during the rest of the game, so I wasn't paying that close attention. But I do remember, particularly that Besser penalty was very painful, and in a way I would agree with you, Corey, that he maybe underperformed, but like you said, he didn't have a preseason, so I can't really harp on him too much for one sort of not exciting game.
I also forgot to mention that Pearson had 2 penalties. So late penalties too.
Didn't McDavid have 3 penalties?
Just the 2.
3 penalties and 3 goals.
He's not that. Well,
Yeah.
a hooking and high sticking is pretty careless in my eyes.
One thing I noticed a lot, because I watched a couple of games yesterday, not the Canucks game, but the Avalanche game was on at the same time, and they had a beautiful like banner raising ceremony and all that stuff. So that's what I was watching.
Were you singing all the small things like to your TV?
I was actually on the phone with my mom, so no.
Okay, you recorded it and sang later. Gotcha.
Yeah. Well, actually, I had that song on repeat on a playlist, so I just sit in the car and cry and sing that song.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Anyways, you were saying something.
I was, and I totally forget what I was going with that. The amount of high sticking calls from like failed stick lifts, like, and then they just hit the player in the schnoz. Like there was like a dozen last night.
There was a lot, yeah.
Yeah, I watched the Toronto game, and I think that happened 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, and then I think there was one in the Colorado-Chicago game, or at least one, maybe 2. Oh, already. Yeah. So there's a lot of that. It was really weird to see. I don't remember that happening a lot last year, but maybe it did.
I guess players are button mashing stick lift too much. They're getting those calls.
Just a Chel glitch penalty.
Yeah, always happens to me.
It's because you're timing it bad, Corey. It works perfectly if used perfectly.
Yeah, I do use it perfectly. I use it all the time.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah.
So, Kyle, did you watch a lot of the Avs game?
Yeah, I watched. I'd say most of it. Yeah. Colorado was just dominant. Even I was watching the TNT broadcast, and Gretzky was like, "I've never seen a team move the puck like this." So, it's nice to see that they haven't lost a step from last year. Definitely some things to. Sorry. Oh yeah, they already scored. Let's go. They just scored, Byram.
Yes.
There you go. He's probably on your bench, though.
Yeah, he is.
That game just started.
I didn't trust him yet.
Yeah, it's a minute and a half in.
Jesus.
I
was gonna say you were facing Chicago last night, so that's
it's
pretty easy. Opponent.
It is a very easy opponent. It was kind of funny watching because I was thinking these matchups are really good. Like, there's no line on Chicago that even competes with a line on Avalanche. Like they could be putting their third line out there and they're still like controlling play. So that was nice. Some like icky penalties that kind of sucked. But Colorado's power play was just on point. So every penalty Chicago took got punished basically. And a couple players on the Avalanche that could definitely use a bit more time to get their head in the game, but overall we're rocking and rolling.
Must be nice.
Yeah, it's pretty nice, not gonna lie. Yeah, Lehkonen played unreal. Nichushkin played unreal. The only player that I think is just a step behind the rest of the team is Evan Rodriguez, but it's his first NHL game with them, so I'm not too worried.
Hey, what about Newhook? Was he playing?
Yeah, he was. So he's going to get a chance at the second line center role for most of the season.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's quite ready for it. I think they're kind of pushing him into that role, but at the same time, there's great players on that line that he gets to play with. So even if he's out of place a little bit, he's still going to have a decent season. So I think a bit more experience in that second line center role would be huge, but we're doing. I think we're doing all right with that. He'll learn a lot this season.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So we're going to move on here to a bit of a continuation from, I think it was our last episode now. I've honestly lost track at this point. But going back to a bit of award predictions. So we only have one left here from general NHL, and then the rest are going to be the team-specific Canuck awards. So our first one here is what team is going to have the largest jump in points this year? And let's pass it over to Kyle first for yours.
Yeah, not looking good so far for this squad. I think they're losing
remember we did this before the season started, so.
Yeah. This is from a week or so ago, and so far they. Oh, is that game over? Yeah, they lost 5-2 to Philadelphia.
It's only one game. Game.
Yeah, but it's Philadelphia.
Oh well, whatever.
So my predictions: the Devils. I think with Jack Hughes full season, hopefully. Nico Hischier, I think he's injured, but that's a solid 1-2. 1-2 up the middle. Improved team, adding a couple wingers and stuff. I was thinking that they're going to have a really good season this year. Might take a little while to get everybody gelled, but yeah. Aaron, who you got?
I have Ottawa. So my reasoning here was just mainly based on how many changes they made, and I think overall as a team they've improved. Again, just like Kyle's team, they just got killed by Buffalo today, so not a good start, but I think overall they should have a much better season than they did last year. All right, Max.
Is all that change net positive for them or net negative?
I mean, in my opinion, positive, but I guess we shall see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of teams that did a lot in the offseason, probably no more than Detroit, and that's who I picked. I believe they finished in the mid-70s in points last year. I think they could honestly be a bit of a sneaky pick in the Atlantic this year. Their top six is pretty loaded. They got some prospects coming up. You got some defense prospects as well. Goaltending, they added in Husso, so you never know with him. He could make or break the team, really. But that's my pick. Mikey, how about yours?
Just like everybody else's teams, the Canucks they got killed yesterday. But again, it is one game, and we clearly don't know. You don't really sound like we know what we're talking about with these picks, but it is just one game.
We're just amateurs.
Yeah, I'm hoping.
Quinn's the only one that hasn't played.
And they'll step it up. Obviously, they will under Bruce, but yeah, that was my pick before the season started. Canucks.
Nice. All right, Corey, last one.
Yeah, I like all your guys' picks. I like Detroit a lot as well. I went with some of the worst teams from last year. Seattle. I put Seattle or Montreal. I don't think they're playoff teams, but I think they will make a significant jump and kind of be more of like a bubble team. I think especially Seattle, look for them to improve and maybe surprise a little bit. And then Montreal was bottom barrel last year, and I think they will make strides and be more competitive this year. And because our question was the largest jump in points per team, what's going on here?
Francouz just stole the puck off the goal line. Sorry, Corey, go on.
As I was saying, just because our question was the largest jump in points for a team, I just think those teams did. Because they did so poorly last year that we'll see a jump in points.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
I got to say, for Seattle, Matty Beniers was flying.
Yes.
He's looking NHL ready.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that wasn't as close as I thought it was. They just had a replay.
So you overreacted a little bit.
Well, they had the goal light on. Like, Calgary bench was celebrating, so no goal. 1-1. 1-0. Sorry.
Okay. All right, so moving in here now to our Canuck team awards. So these are the ones that the Canucks will award at the end of their season. So our current predictions that hopefully some of us will be right. So the first one will be the most points on the Canucks. And let's start off with Mikey for this one.
Pretty predictable answer here. I'm going to go with JT Miller with the most points on the Canucks. Clearly what he did last season, 99 points. He had that bar down snipe in the first couple minutes of the game yesterday. If he can keep that up. And I think he had 2 assists as well. 1 or 2 assists, I want to say.
Just the one.
Just the one, okay. But it was on the power play, I believe, too. So he's already rolling.
I had Miller too for those exact reasons. He's just so well-rounded. it just would be pretty unexpected to see somebody else overtake him, I would say. But to be fair, the other three of you all picked the same person. So whoever wants to give us their reason for this guy, let's go Max first.
Oh, okay. Well, I think it is Pearson's year to finally break out into the player that everyone wants him to be. And I don't think Miller's going to be far behind him. If anything, they're going to be really close. But Pearson is looking beefed up in the summer. They talked a lot about it during the game last night, that he went up to an 87 flex stick, which is pretty crazy for a guy like him. But I think he's going to have a great year. Last night he showed a lot of poise with the puck and everything. You just look at his first goal. As long as he can stay healthy, I think he's definitely going to be leading by the end of the year. How about Corey? Go ahead about your thoughts.
No, I just agree with you, Max. I think he's primed for a big year. I think what we saw a lot at the end of last season. As long as he can stay healthy, I think he's poised for a breakout. I think he's going to put up a lot of points. Yeah, Canucks seem to have a good offense, and he's going to take some minutes. So I agree.
And
yeah, I agree there. So like before this offseason, he had some frame. He needed a full offseason healthy and a full preseason, and he got that. And I think he's gonna have a good season this year.
Totally.
Also beefed up the facial hair quite a bit.
I was just
got
going to mention
a bit of a new
that.
look.
Yeah, he's looking
Talking about
good.
Max or Petey?
A whole new guy.
He's not our boy anymore. He's becoming a man, and
Our man.
I'm here for it.
He has more than Kyle.
Yeah, that doesn't take much. Actually, I shaved the chin fuzz, and I left like the lip fuzz. So I'm gonna try to get my Movember going a bit early, so that I'm not embarrassing myself.
Nice.
Yeah.
Start a month early.
I think it's 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Yeah. Yeah, I know it's embarrassing, but I'll probably also give up in like a week when it gets all itchy and stuff. So I don't think you realize how bad. All right, well the listeners don't realize how bad my facial hair is. Everyone else knows.
All right, let's move on here to, well, pretty much the same person for this award within the group here. So this is most goals, and the vote is pretty split against Miller and Pearson again. So let's go over to Corey first to give us your vote.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just quickly talk about it. I took Pearson. I think just for the same reasons. I think he's going to have a great year, and alongside with that, it means he's going to score a lot. Yeah, he'll get a lot of power play goals, and he'll get a lot of even strength goals. So that's why I picked him.
Cool. Max, Mikey, anything to add there?
No, pretty basic. He's gonna have a good season. Yeah, a lot of power play goals are gonna come from it.
Nice.
Yeah. No, I was going to mention that. He'll be the one to go to on that power play. It'll be up to teams to block that same play, but I think Pearson's too creative to be stopped.
What I'll say is I expect Pearson to take some of that offensive load from Miller. Pearson had a cold year for a large part of it last year. Miller had to be the guy for so many games. So I expect that to shift. I expect PD to take that load. And he's younger and he's primed for a breakout like we're all talking about. So
And then Kyle and I both had Miller, just with the consistency of his play on my end. That's kind of why I picked him. I hope Pearson's going to be catching up or even surpassing him. But yeah, Kyle, you kind of agree there?
Yeah, I think just the consistency and just I hope to see Pearson facilitate a bit more and be more of a playmaker. Although I guess the player with that skill can do both. My main question to everyone, and I'll probably ask it to you first, Aaron, is why isn't Besser any of our predictions? He's supposed to be the sniper on this team.
Because you just spoke about I'm sorry, Aaron. You just spoke about consistency. Kyle just spoke about consistency, and Besser's not consistent.
Well, the key word you had there was he's supposed to be, but he never has been. He has a really good shot, but he's never really connected.
He misses the net a lot.
It just hasn't happened. Yeah, he misses the net a lot.
Okay.
It's true. It's just never been there.
Again, I don't watch this team, so yeah, I was just hoping for that insight.
He's also had a couple hand surgeries, I think now. Wrist hand surgeries. So
he's
kind
had
of
bad.
signing new contract.
Well, bad in this last couple of years, bad injury luck, and then like a lot of like heavy family stuff dealing with. I think it's affected his play. And every time he seems to get healthy, then he gets hurt again. So it's like he never really gets on a roll. So he's almost hasn't played the games or been on like a streak to even get consistent.
He really just needs time to be healthy. So maybe, hopefully next year he'll be in that conversation. I think this year will be a good one for him to kind of reset with all that other stuff that was going on outside of hockey. If he can stay injury free, he should be hopefully a lot better.
I hope so. I hope he has a good season.
Yeah. I think we all do. All right, moving on to the most assists now. So, Kyle, you and I were the same again for this, and I think you almost brought up our reasoning earlier. We both said Pearson, playmaking abilities being my reason. I think yours too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nothing to add.
Max, you have someone different.
Wow, yeah, look at me changing it up. I'm going with Quinn Hughes here. I know there's been a lot of talk about him wanting to shoot more and try and get a little bit more goals. I think his career high was last year, and that was like 8 goals. So you'd like to see that a little bit higher, but I think when it comes to assists and the playmaking, he is second to none. You even saw it last night with so many passing plays. The difference between him and OEL on the first power play is crazy. Like, crazy good, that's for sure. And I think he'll lead the Canucks in assists. I think 60-70 again.
All right, Mikey, who'd you have?
I had Miller for most assists. I mean, like,
nice.
Good job.
I mean, we've talked about Miller and Pearson so much. Like, my reasoning is just, it's just going to be the same as the other ones.
Yeah.
Too.
And
yeah,
Corey
pretty
also
much.
had Miller, not really surprised there. So let's move into one that is our first universal vote, and that's not shocking at all to me here. Our team MVP across the board is Demko. Anybody have any deep insights as to why, or we all just know he kind of carries the team on many occasions?
It just has to be Demko if you're going to make the playoffs. He's got a carry, and he's capable of it.
Yeah, for sure. I think maybe the question is, if not Demko, does anybody have any other MVP that is also not Miller or Pearson? I think that seems to be like our top 3. So
I just don't think
it could be anybody else. Maybe. Like Kuzmenko, if he scores a bunch.
Hughes, if he
Hughes, yeah.
Is the only other one that has the ability to.
Yep.
Because I don't think Kuzmenko's going to score enough. Like, I'd be impressed if he put up like 25 this year.
Yeah, but to overpass Pearson and Miller would be a pretty high task.
Yeah.
All right, our final award here is the Unsung Hero Award. So let's start off with Corey for this one.
Okay. I had Mikheyev. Yeah, I think he could be an unsung hero. He's kind of that, from what I know, still haven't seen him because he's hurt right now, play for the Canucks, but from what I know from his Toronto days, he's kind of like a do-it-all kind of player. I was thinking of unsung hero, and what was coming to mind was Jannik Hansen. So I was trying to think of who is our Jannik Hansen, and this player is just what came to mind. He can score, penalty kill, throw him on the power play, checking line, he can play anywhere, really. He'll play in the top 3 lines. So that would be my guess. Yeah, Mikheyev.
Nice.
For those reasons, yeah.
Mikey, let's hear yours.
I'm going to do a split vote here. My first one was Luke Shen, though, just because, again, he's a guy that stands up for all his teammates. He's the aggressive one on the team. You know, he'll have anybody's back, especially Hughes. And he's like one of the biggest leaders, in my opinion, on the team, like defensive wise and just kind of locker room wise. And I also have Garland on there just because I think he works extremely hard every time he's on the ice. He gives like 100% effort. He'll put up points when he has to, but I think like the hard work and his effort. And personally, he's my favorite player. And I think I love watching him live too.
Yeah, I had Garland too as mine, pretty much for the exact same reasons. He's just so fun to watch because you can tell he's always giving 100%. And his skating and his edges are just so impressive. Like, he always looks so tiny out there just because he's so low and aggressive the whole time. He's such a hard worker. I would agree.
He never gives up, which is nice because a lot of the times if the Canucks make a mistake, certain players will give up on plays. He'll never give up on a play, which is nice.
All right, Kyle, let's hear yours.
For me, I think I had Garland there originally, but after watching Kuzmenko yesterday, I think he's gonna be unsung hero in a lot of cases. I like his ability to shoot the puck at will, but also look for the open player too. So that was super nice to see. And I think he's gonna mesh with whoever he plays with. I think he's gonna be a huge part of the team this year.
And our final unsung hero from Max?
I have Vasily Podkolzin, which is actually, I was trying to think of almost my reasoning behind it, but I think it's going to be very similar to what Corey said. I really like that comparison as well. And you can see that with Podkolzin. He looks a lot stronger this year. Through preseason, you can see him be a little bit more unselfish, I should say, in a way, with the puck. But his strength, he was just going through players with his speed and really good on while carrying the puck. So I think throughout the year he's going to get a bigger workload, and Boudreau's going to really want to play him more. So I think that's who I'm going to pick.
Nice. All right, so that wraps up our final award predictions. And we're going to move on here to talking about our Chel Stars fantasy draft. So this is going to be probably pretty unstructured, I think. I know we want to talk about who has the best picks, offense, defense, goalies, maybe some interesting high draft picks that we don't think are going to work out. I'm going to throw it over to Kyle for your just quick first thoughts on how our draft went.
Obviously, it's not a super deep league. There's only 6 of us, so there's pretty good players drafted all throughout the draft, even into the final round. Definitely some reaches by a couple of us. Me definitely probably being at the top of that list as per usual, but my goal this year is not to blow up my team and regret it like I did last year.
So I think we should just immediately start off by asking you why you picked Bouchard that early.
Or at all.
Or
at all. Wow. I mean, fair question. I just hope that he plays power play with McDavid this year, and it's super easy to get points alongside that guy. So it's either him or Tyson Barrie going to be on that top pairing, and I want to take my chances and trust that Edmonton is trying to develop this guy into first line power play defenseman. So that's where I'm at with that. And if they do put him on the first line power play, I think I'll be getting some decent points out of the guy.
Yeah, fair. Didn't happen last night, but hopefully that will change soon.
Yeah. I was noticing that I think he was still positive points, which was good. I was shocked that he was only like 0.3 for us, which we'll have to improve if he's going to make the cut. But I think I also have McAvoy. Yeah, maybe the wrong league. I don't know. I'm in 3 leagues, and I know I just have so many players. So hard to remember. I did?
Yeah.
Perfect. Awesome. So as soon as he's healthy at the end of December, somebody will be getting snipped, so they better play up to their potential. And I can't let this go if I'm going to get ripped for Bouchard without ripping Aaron for drafting Capo Caco at all.
I, to be honest, still don't really know exactly why I did it. I think it was because of him playing on the first line with like Kreider, Zibanejad. Like how can you not be productive and get points? But clearly I was wrong because he's done nothing so far. So he could be a very easy snip, but like you, Kyle, I'm trying not to pull a Kyle and get rid of him too fast.
Yeah.
So we shall see. But I was being very, very optimistic, and I don't think it's going to work out.
Especially after his postseason last year, where he was healthy scratch and stuff, it's tough to say. He deserves to be on that top line. But
I was very shocked by that pick.
Just like you, Aaron, I'm going for the loyalty award this year to as redemption for last season.
Can't say I'll be that loyal, but at least I'm going to give them a little more time, at least before I commit to picking somebody else up.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see.
You almost dropped him yesterday.
I did. I did have a claim in for about 5 minutes, and then I canceled it. And then Max ended up picking up the Chuskin anyways. So
see, that's exactly what I had.
I was ahead of him on the waiver wire, so it would have been pretty funny if I had stolen him. I totally
had the claim in for Nichushkin too, and then Max is like, "Oh, you're gonna pick somebody up that early?" And I'm like, "Oh, maybe I should just wait because you just sit on my bench anyways." And then Max fucking scooped him like a couple days later.
I have a free roster spot, so I'll take it.
Well, I do too, but I don't know. Max like made me second guess, and I don't think I'll regret it, but definitely a move.
Yeah, I just figured with Landeskog out, he's on that top power play, and I don't have any other Colorado player, so I figured I needed to snag one up, and well, we had a pretty good first game to say at least.
Yeah,
hard to say he won't do well playing on that team.
Yeah.
Oh, it's almost guaranteed he'll have a good season.
Yeah.
Unless he gets injured or something, then that's the only time Max is going to end up dropping him. So,
good pickup. Go on my IR.
True. I don't know how much more there is to talk about. We had a biggest sleepers kind of thing. The only one that really came to mind for me was Rupa Hintz that Corey got in a later round, which I thought was an awesome pickup, especially if he's going to be playing with Robertson this year. I think he's going to have an incredible season.
Yeah, he did really well last year, so I was happy to pick him up.
Yeah, quite the steal.
Yeah, I mean, you can trade me a goalie for him if you want.
Actually, my goalies, I'd say, I would personally say I had the best goalie draft. Okay, who you got?
Who do I have?
Yeah.
Vasilevsky and Jack Campbell.
Oh, Mikey loves his goalies. All night, the whole night after the draft. My goalies are unreal, you guys. Vasilevsky and Campbell.
Vasilevsky is going to get like 40, 50 wins. It's going to be nice. But Kyle, you do have three. You do have three good goalies. You just need to figure out when to rotate them.
Yeah, Kyle. Yeah. That third goalie where Mikey. Yeah. I mean, they're really solid too, but you do are.
I got Bobrovsky so late as well.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, nobody wanted to pick him.
Yeah, like in my opinion, he just probably won't start quite enough. Especially if you're trying to hand it over tonight. That I wasn't really confident in him.
Agreed.
That's totally fair. Yeah,
we didn't talk about it, but Knight did sign that extension just over a week ago for a couple of years. That I think it was like 4 a bit mil. So
yeah, I think Knight will be their starting goalie, either next year or the year after. But it's nice to be able to give him time to develop and not rush it.
I do just want to point out that since we are recording this during a whole bunch of games, Capo Caco has just scored.
Take that. Haha.
So we were just ripping into him, but
it's going to be his only goal of the month, but I'm still excited.
But it's on recording.
That game's kind of just blown up all of a sudden, 6-3.
To be fair, like everybody I have on my team that has scored today, he's on my bench, so it's not actually that great, but
I would hope you didn't play him.
Definitely not.
Imagine you play him and he just pops off for the week. That would be incredible.
He's going to be one of those players that when I finally do play him, he's just going to do absolutely nothing.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. Does anybody else want to brag about their team? Max,
I mean,
what are you most proud of with your draft?
oh man, what am I proud of? Fuck.
Well, let's just start with how last night Max was complaining quite a bit about having McDavid on his team.
Wow, tough. I'm so
guy.
sorry that you have to deal with that for the entire season. Actually, you don't. I will trade for him.
Okay. Give me your best offer. But yeah, no, I was complaining a lot for having McDavid torch the Canucks. He had 9.35 points. But yeah, as Aaron said, I was complaining a lot about it.
Better to have him on your team, though, I would say.
A little bit. Yeah, no, I think overall my draft, I think it went pretty well. I took some interesting picks. I went a lot off of potential, I would say. So high ceilings for a lot of players, but I'm hoping that can really work out. My defense could be really good or really bad. That's what I'm going to say. Corey, any thoughts on your draft?
Yeah, I like my team. I'm confident with my team. My team I have Zibanejad, so that's all you need to know, you guys. I have Mika Zibanejad.
Your team definitely looks better than your recent years drafting. I'll tell you that.
That's true.
What a backhanded compliment.
Wow.
Yeah, what the hell,
Sorry.
man?
So sorry, but I was looking at your team earlier, and I'm like, it actually looks pretty good. So,
dude, your center depth is actually unreal.
A lot of Edmonton players.
My team is sick. Okay, I have Zibanejad, Draisaitl. I have both Evander Kane and Patrick Kane. Pearson. Who else? Cider and Rasmus Dahlin. Like, my team is like, if this was a real team,
Eichel.
Yeah, if this was a real team, I'm a dynasty. Like, these players are. I have the perfect mix of like young studs and like good vets in their prime. Playoff experience. The only I have Demko, dude. I'm freaking Rasmus Anderson. I know you wanted him, Max. Let's show. No. Yeah,
well, you're almost catching Corey in points here in fantasy. I just checked.
Guys, I have Jack Eichel, and what the heck? Kyle's like 3 points behind me now.
Yeah, my squad's popping off today, and my goalies haven't even done good yet. Noah Dobson
done well.
Okay, English teacher. Jake Gensel, 5.1 points. Let's go.
Yeah.
Trocheck on my bench.
5.2 points.
Crosby. I didn't pick Crosby, okay?
I did. And he got me 5.2 points. So, stellar.
Yep. Let's shift into the fan question. Maxwell?
Yeah, so this was pretty much from a while back now. I think this was our question from like 3 weeks ago, because I don't think we discussed it last podcast. But this is, we asked you guys what team is going to have the hottest start. Clearly, we've only seen one game for some teams. So you guys did answer with a few votes for Vegas, Canucks, and Edmonton, all funny enough from the Pacific. I think we can all see pretty much any of those teams going for the hottest start. Canucks definitely can hopefully redeem himself, but I guess Edmonton starting off with a solid win. Both comeback wins as well. So, any of you guys have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, Edmonton looked pretty solid coming out of the gate, so it's hard to say they won't have a pretty hot start, but I know we're all hoping here the Canucks are going to turn it around and make that vote actually count.
I hope Edmonton has a good start.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, we are all Canucks.
I thought so.
No.
Oh, yeah, almost all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was 80% of the way there.
Yeah.
Alrighty, well, and so pretty much our fan question kind of just goes along with what we've been talking about for the last little bit here, and is who had the best draft? So Aaron's probably going to talk about it here in a moment, but I mean, we're going to post on Instagram all of our fantasy teams. That way we don't just have to list them out to you like so on the podcast.
That would be awful.
You can all grade us on...
I mean, Corey pretty much did.
I already did.
Yeah, that's true.
Exactly. That would be awful.
Yeah. So let us know your thoughts, even if you want to go even more in depth. Let us know who had the best offense, defense, and goalies. Aaron, take it away.
Yeah, thanks, Max. So that wraps us up for another week here. We're so sorry it took so long for us to have another episode, but I hope it was worth it. Like Max said, our Instagram will have all of our full teams laid out, so please head over there to judge us, and hopefully there'll be a couple compliments on some of our picks. We shall see. Other than that, as always, please follow our Instagram and subscribe and give us some reviews. And we'll see you guys next time.